All gas. Look. Count up the bars like a barcode scanner. Every line ring off, whole block got manners. Pen so cold, made the mic wear a jacket. Turn a blank page to a crime scene graphic. Rapping my sleep, wake up, add more damage. Words doing pull-ups, heavy set, full stamina. Whole squad silent while the beat gets carved. Only one word for it, bars. It's all about bars, bars, bars. It's all about bars.
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy Big Sty. I want to welcome y'all to another episode of All About Bars, where we celebrate and spotlight lyricists and MCs of all kinds. Today, we are blessed to have one of the greatest out right now. This homeboy was signed to Bad Boy at one point. Some of y'all might know him from the TV show Rhythm and Flow, and some of y'all might know him from his debuts on LA Leakers and his infamous freestyles. The one and only King Los. Check it out.
Yo,
Peace, King.
how you doing, brother?
What's on, man? What's going on with you? How you feeling?
I'm blessed, my man. How about yourself?
Hey, man, I'm not complaining.
That's what's up, brother. Glad to have you on the platform. Welcome to All About Bars, brother. This platform, man, we spotlight and celebrate MCs and lyricists of all kinds, man. And you are what I consider a top tier lyricist in every sense of the word, dog. I mean, everything I've seen you do, every time I hear you spit, is never a mediocre. It's never a mediocre event. It's always something. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
what I want to get into is the thought process, the creative process, and the mindset that goes into how you come up with your bars, songs, concepts, things of that nature. So let's start from the beginning. Like, did you come up in a musical household? Was that part of it? Did that initiate everything?
Um, I think the closest thing to like musicality I had very young, early on, was like
Mm,
church.
mm,
Just like that. My family had a lot of churches, right? So one Sunday you could go to one aunt's church or the other,
right,
my uncle's church or my cousin
right,
had a church. And so being from Baltimore, or Baltimore, right?
right.
Even in that draw, you can hear that there's a lot of Southern influence in the regional dialect. So,
Fact.
so Baltimore has a lot of flavor, and the way we were doing, your music in church, it was more soul and like jazz and even like some
Hmm.
funk, right? And so
Hmm.
that was like my first introduction to like music. And then my mother would play Kenny G. Um,
Hmm.
if you know,
Right.
he would play Tony Terry.
Uh,
You know what I'm saying?
okay.
She used to play Tremaine Hawkins, who is also a
Ooh.
gospel
Right.
artist, right? So I came up and that was like what my mother would play around the house. So a lot of that
And
played
it's
this
crazy.
part in early on, giving me
Right.
that understanding of kind of like,
Right. Giving you that balance.
yeah,
And it's crazy that you mention that because I hear a lot of spiritual influence in your lyricism. You know what I
mhm,
mean? It's like you know how to merge spirituality, politics, along with the urban struggle and create
yeah,
um a perspective of understanding from all sides of it. You know what I'm saying? Which is
yeah,
which is no easy task. So it has to come naturally. You know what I mean?
yeah.
From
Definitely
things
is in
you've
my
seen and
foundation.
experienced and things of that nature, man. And you
1000%.
do it effortlessly, dog. It's crazy how you do it, man. So moving forward, when did who was your first lyrical influence or hip hop influence that made you say, you know what? I want to do this. I think I can do this.
Yeah. So my first my first hip hop influence was a split between, and now you're gonna see the ingredients, right? You're gonna see the
Right.
ingredients.
Okay.
It was a split between cannabis.
Mm.
It was written Nas. That was my
Mm.
intro to Nas.
Okay.
Big L
The
and
God.
Big Pun.
Yeah, I see all of that.
So
Yo, I see all of that. And yeah,
get
absolutely.
it?
I
You
see
get
all
it
of that.
now?
I get it.
So
It's like they formed Voltron. Yo, all of those cats came together and made King Los. Yo, that's dope. Yeah,
yeah,
because I hear all those influences from
right.
the the flows with pun to the punchlines with Big L and the thought of Nas and all of those elements and cannabis with that lyrical aggression. Yeah, it's crazy.
On
Yeah, yeah,
next
yeah. I
next
see
Valley.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
that made me an interdimensional being. Those four
Right,
elements was like the Fantastic Four.
right,
And that made me an interdimensional being because with pun with the did in the middle with little itty,
right,
we know little the zero middleman who didn't do right. And cannabis
right.
saying I cannabis is the lyrical form of germ engineering. I speak at a frequency dogs that have trouble hearing.
People hear it. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah.
When
Facts.
he said shit like that, I could run at top speeds without bending my knees, pinpoint asteroids in orbit, then hurl y'all thousands of miles an hour towards it. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
man,
man.
saying
Cannabis was
shit
something special, man. Cannabis was something
broke. So
special.
cannabis broke the brain, right?
Right.
So what I have, I can say that I owe so much of it to cannabis because, and foundationally, the thing I've learned, like in being like probably my greatest niche, is
Mm-hmm.
people are intrigued by my mind, right?
Facts.
Whether
Facts.
it's rapping, rap just was the first form.
Mm-hmm.
But even in my interviews or even in when people hear me speak, they're like, man, the way you're able to process thought multidimensionally, cannabis had a lot to do with helping that element blossom because cannabis said things that were typically unfathomable, right?
Right.
How do you run at top speeds without bending your
Bending
knees?
your knees. Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Yeah,
when you
that's
say
crazy.
that, you're telling me that you've transcended the operating system of this realm. And so that's what I took from cannabis early. I'm like, how he's saying stuff that you can't even think of?
That
That
you
that.
wouldn't, yeah, a mere human wouldn't even think about thinking of. You know what I'm saying?
You know
Like
what I'm
running
saying?
top speeds without bending your knees. Like, how would you even think of that? That's beyond
How you
crazy.
even start to process that? So that was my introduction to like outside the box. Like, yo, you could go outside the box and you can, because like he knew that with that ability, every MC feared him. No person back then tried cannabis or wanted none of that.
Nah,
And I'm talking about cannabis can arguably say, yo, I had the greatest era of lyrical competition, right? I'm talking
facts.
about this when DMX and then X would just
Yeah,
jump out
yeah,
and spit bars
yeah,
on you, and
yeah, yeah,
Hove would
yeah.
pop out and like this is when those superstars weren't so big that they wouldn't just
Right.
bar up at any moment,
No, no, no. Not in
right?
just straight, not in a straight just rap battle with because cannabis was different. And he had captured a lane that I think at that time a lot of people had kind of abandoned. Everybody was moving towards trying to get signed and get record deals and things of that nature or talking about the hood. Cannabis had went back into I'm gonna give you some bars, dog. You know what I mean? And I'm gonna do it on a level that ain't nobody doing it right now.
And
And to
so I
this day,
realized that
nobody caught up with him.
nobody caught up with him. The thing is, he really he was well studied, and that's what I found out about him. The dude could break the barrier because he was so well studied. He was able to supersede the
Right,
thresholds in the
right,
level, right? And so You got that guy, and you got Nas. Um, what was he say? On what's my favorite joint from Nas? I seen some
Said,
cold nights and bloody days. They grabbed me, bullet sprayed. They used me wrong, so I sing this song to this day. My body is cold still for real. I was made to kill. That's why they keep me concealed under car seats. They sneak me in clubs and in the hands of mad thugs. They feed me when
oh
they
yeah,
mad slugs. 17 precisely, one in their head. They call me Desert Eagle. Send me yarded with lead. That
hands down my favorite Nas song of all time. The concept was crazy, yo, and yo, ain't nobody doing it like that no more. I think. And for him to think of that and put himself and embody himself as the gun was crazy.
that was
And
crazy.
and to be so vivid in the descriptions of it
So
was crazy. Yo, man. Yeah. Hands
we
down my
never
favorite
we
Nas
never
record.
heard ever the
No.
perspective of a gun. And the coldest
No.
part was like, next time I'm sick of tired and sick of murdering, sick of the thugs, sick of the something, sick of the grudge. Next time, he said, next, I got a plan. Right. Next time the beef is on, I make myself jam right in my
Damn,
own
yeah.
hand.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah, yeah. Come
God.
on, dog. And that, yo,
Bro.
real talk, man. What we're talking about right now is, and I don't want to get off the topic too much, but this is a problem I have with what's going on today. It's not, to me, it's not about what you rap about. You can rap about whatever you want to rap about, but be creative in the process. You know, Nas was rapping about the streets, but he took it to another level. He didn't just talk about, yo, I'm out here hustling or whatever. He said he took something that's relative to the streets and pushed the envelope and made something bigger and made it bigger. And
Mhm.
you know what I mean? Right now, I don't see enough of that. You know what I mean? I see a lot of cutting and pasting with, we're gonna talk about the same thing that guy talked about and the same thing the other last 10 guys talked about. It's the
Right.
same street stories. And that's what I miss, the creativity in whatever lane you're talking about, pushing the boundary, thinking outside the box, like you just said, and talking and taking it to another level from what we've already talked about. But let's take it
Right.
to another level. Let's see how far we can push it. You know what I mean?
Right.
But like
Yeah.
I said, I don't want to get
No,
off the
we can let's
subject.
do all that because let's do all that because that gives context and clarity, right? And
Right.
it's more of an in-depth, multi-dimensional perspective. And to keep it real with you, right, I'm gonna go down that rabbit hole with you a little bit and veer
Right.
off a little bit too.
Okay.
So early on, so we the indigenous people. So
Hmm.
early on, when we was creating what they call furrows, right?
Right.
A furrow is a way to cultivate the land, right? And so you have these irrigation systems, and we was creating this because you had beings on this planet that were hunter gatherers, right? And the hunter gatherers could only have a certain mindset because they weren't connected to the earth the same way. They didn't have the
Right.
same capacity of the electromagnetic connectivity to the earth plane. So they had to go be vicious, vile, and cruel and kill things just to eat. And we
Right.
use science of the
Right.
mind, of the seasons, of the land to cultivate where we could plant seeds and we could even create vegetation, right? And
Right.
so,
Right.
right, make a long story super duper short. We took that knowledge around the world. So we had something that is more in modern day is known as corn, but we called it maize back then, right?
Maze.
It was
Yeah.
maize,
Hmm.
right? On hieroglyphs, they have the bearers of maize and they worship them as gods.
Right.
So knowing that corn or maize is indigenous to America, but you have these artifacts on different historical
Huh.
archaeological structures in Africa and all over
Right.
the world, it shows that we traveled and went to these places. And when we brought these things and taught these people how to cultivate the land, it was like, quote unquote, like Jesus feeding the multitude. And
Right.
it
Right.
referred to us as gods. So to
Right.
navigated, come all the way back around full circle with your point. We're acting beneath the inventors that we are. We're
Absolutely.
acting beneath the gods, right? That we were deemed
Absolutely.
by people because of the sheer mechanics of our genius. So we're acting beneath our true, calling and identity. And that's what's happening because this new form of instant gratification, it
Boom.
it puts us in a space where men don't even know how to approach women because we on the internet and it's just clicks of buttons. It's not
Right.
physical. Back in the day, you get
People, yeah, man, listen, dog, you are preaching, bruh. We can really get into something right here because this is some of the things that I be talking about, man. A lot of this stuff has made people socially awkward, where it's a disconnect.
Mhm.
Like you said, this generation doesn't know how to approach females because they didn't come. We had to go outside. We had
Right.
to go to the mall. We had to build up the courage to talk to this girl over here while she
Uh-huh.
around her friends, with the understanding that she could clown me, I
Right.
could get laughed at, but it built character.
It built character.
Now they don't characters removed because now I could just DM her if she turned me down right there. Ain't nobody see
Right.
it.
Pause right there.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, right,
Mm-hmm. Right.
then the correlation has to be how the fuck could I make a female record?
Boom.
If I don't in real life know how to approach
How
a
to
woman,
interact. Right.
how do I make so now I'm stuck making one kind of music. Everything
Right.
I see other niggas do and say, because I
That's
don't
it.
even know how to articulate how I would approach her. You got to
Right.
feel like Biz Markie, rest in peace to the God, right?
Right.
I actually met and rolled with Biz a little bit in my early life because we
Right.
be around Maryland and DC, right? And
Mm-hmm.
I rock with Biz. Biz is a great guy, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
and when he had you got what I
That's what I
need.
need. Yeah. Yeah.
To say he's just a
Just
friend.
a friend. Yeah.
And he kicked a whole story about
Yes.
the girl getting rejected, then getting
Right.
accepted, then and like as basic as you can be, and it's classic. It's
And
classic. So that just goes
exactly
to show where we are now. We have
right.
gotten so removed from even understanding the woman and how to approach them. We not fly no more. We not
No,
all of those things that you would embody.
those vulnerabilities is people are
Right.
scared. They scared to share. Everything is overly bravado, and it's like nobody's doing "I Need Love" or those type of records. Like you just said, man, everything has to be extra hard or gangster. And the times of when Will Smith was validated back in the days because
Mhm.
he represented a part of the culture that we understood. We knew cats like Will in school. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Everybody wasn't these tough guys in school when I was growing up in the 80s. Everybody, you knew a Will Smith, and as
You only
well
had a
as you
few
knew it.
tough guys. You
Yeah,
only had a
exactly.
few. And you
You
knew who
only
those
had a
guys
few,
was.
man. Everybody was just regular kids, man, just
Right.
enjoying
Right.
life, man. That's why I understand how these kids I see now is 16, 15 are so eager to be gangster. And I'm like, bro, trust me, as somebody who ran the streets, please don't rush into that.
It's a
You
lot
know
of
what I'm saying?
femininity in that. That what they got going on, it's a lot of femininity because you might confuse, right? Not you specifically, but us
Right, I understand.
in the world. You might confuse hyper violence for gangster
Masculinity.
or some sort of masculinity, right? Right.
Right.
But
Hmm.
some egotistical type of like tough guy act like that shit
Right.
ain't really what we would call gangster, right? Like I know the word gangster now, it gets cross-contaminated with like gang banger, right? And so
Right.
then to be a gang banger, you got these people who could just go and try to emulate what they saw other guys who went through real trials and tests in the streets, and they wearing that color or they doing this, and they emulate and they try to do it, but they don't understand it's a whole nother level of something that comes
Yes.
with these
Yeah,
guys, and
man.
they got history of, and you gotta respect. So the streets have been disrespected. The 9 to 5 blue collar, honest, everyday
Mhm.
working man has been disrespected. You
Yep.
know, and so we have a culture that's collapsing in on itself because even like you said, we had one or two tough guys, and guess what? They was real tough guys, and
It was
everybody
real.
And
It was real.
and I think the best thing about them is that if you ain't fuck with them, they ain't fuck with you.
They ain't fuck, yo, my dude. That was the thing. You knew. I mean, a lot of times we knew who like you said, you knew who the tough guys were. You stayed out of their way. 9 times out of 10, you ain't had no problems.
9 times out of 10.
Usually 10 times out of 10, you ain't had no problem. You know
Right.
what I mean? It's always that one every now and then. But yeah, if you stayed out of the way, if you didn't go look for it, it wasn't you. You ain't had to worry about it.
There you
You know
go.
what I'm
It ain't
saying?
find you, right? If you ain't looking, it
Exactly.
ain't find you.
Exactly.
And I
Yeah,
miss
man.
those days, man, of
Yes, sir.
authenticity because the music, my favorite, and I wish I had gotten this earlier, but my favorite artist of all time
Hmm.
is man, it's man, it's a toss-up. So I got a three-way tie.
Okay.
It's
What you
Nina
got?
Simone,
Mm.
Stevie Wonder,
Okay. Yes, sir.
and Michael Jackson, right? Those,
Yeah, man.
those are my three favorites, and it's interchangeable at any given moment. I could just be on some
Right.
Nina, I put a spell on
Facts.
you, right?
Oh
Like,
man, come on, man.
and
Come
then my
on,
man
bro.
Stevie, one of my favorite Stevie records is um if it's magic, then why can't it be
Oh man.
everlasting like the
Come
sun in
on, brother.
the
Come
time,
on, man. Come
like
on,
the
man.
poet's endless rhymes, like the
Yes, sir.
galaxies in time, right? It holds the key to like that, like
Come
Stevie and
on,
Mike,
man.
man. Mike was just Mike, man. And those are my three favorites. So the vulnerability in Nina Simone, her life, what she went through, Stevie, Mike, these are artists that like I look to when I create, even when I'm making rap.
Right.
I'm looking
Right.
to these artists because I'm searching for that vulnerability and that authenticity in my work, man.
And you capture it, bro. You capture it. One of my favorites is what is it? Little Black Boy?
Yeah, little
Little
black
Black
boy
Boy?
with my son
Yeah,
on the
man.
intro when he's just a
Yo,
baby.
man. Bro, that joint right there, like I said, you have an ability to capture the struggle in the hood, mix it with spirituality, as well as insightful politics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And provide, like I said, man, the biggest thing I take away from what you do is perspective. You
Mm,
provide perspective. And that's something as an artist myself, man, that everybody can't do. You know, I tell my friend that
yeah.
all the time. Like everybody, and not just as an artist, but as people. And I'm sure you've seen everybody don't have a great perspective in life. You know what I mean? Perspective is a gift. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And the older I get, I learned that, like, some things that come naturally to me that I can see and I can speak about to other people. And then when I say certain things to people, they look at me like I just invented the wheel. And I'm like, it just seemed like that's common sense to me. But everybody doesn't know how to put life into a perspective, you know what I mean, all the time. And especially in music. And you have a great ear to do that, bro. I mean, and like I said, Little Black Boy, and Balance, another one. Those joints is crazy, man.
Balance is good with Lolo in there.
Yeah, yeah, man. That joints is crazy, man.
Got it. We got another joint that's fire that we did. Now we didn't just do it, but it's called Resurrection. And
Oh, okay. I gotta check that, man.
it ain't
You is
out.
it out yet? It ain't out yet.
We didn't drop it yet, but it's cold, man. It's just that whole exchange, that back and forth. Um,
That's
yeah,
what's up, man.
ain't fire, man. I got some stuff I'm
So
working on. It's fire too.
I can't wait to hear it, brother. So let me ask you something. Um, I saw somewhere where you were talking about how you got to the point where you stopped writing.
Mm-hmm.
And could you break it? Because I can't, it's kind of similar to my story, how I stopped writing and it just would come up with it in my mind. But can you break that down? It's like you reverse engineered your brain in some kind of way.
Yeah. Well, how I stopped writing wasn't the same way I reverse engineered my brain, but it was the result of reverse engineering my
Right.
brain.
It was
Right?
right. I
So
got you. Right.
when I would write, I would write religiously,
Mhm.
just constantly. And I had books on books on books on books of just just literary works, right?
Mhm.
So I probably had well over my 10,000 hours. Um I probably had well over my 10,000 hours um
Mhm.
early on. And
Mhm.
so because it's all I did, I didn't do
Right.
nothing else, right? It's
Oh, okay.
all I did was just write. And so I was getting really savvy with it. You know,
Got you. Got you.
it's where you almost starting to understand your own superpower, right?
Right.
Looking at your hand like, man, what I can,
Yeah.
and so I can remember the day when I had this epiphany and I was like, man, anything I write gonna be crazy.
Right.
I had total autonomy over my skill set. Like I remember
Mhm.
the day because I was trying this thing out, and I'm like, man, I could do anything with words.
Right.
I had done my the straight A's, my alphabetic arsenal and awesome arithmetic, actually attributes, adding, artistic, apprenticeship, absolutely an animal, accurately articulate, academically acrobatic, attaching the apparatus, advancing, attacking, average assassins, and agonizing, antagonists, analyzing, analytical analysis, abralis, like just all that shit, right?
Yo, that's crazy.
And then I was like going to the B's and I was like, I brutally badger bathroom baboons, bionic brain, bizarre. Like I did the whole shit, bionic brain,
Wow,
bizarre,
that's crazy.
benevolent, and I did the whole thing. And I'm like, man, and I just realized like, man, I could do anything with this shit. Like
Right.
I got
Right.
so much power, right? So one day I had wrote some shit and I couldn't find my book.
Mm.
Couldn't find like what I did with my book, man. I might have left it somewhere because I would take it with me. And I was sitting there and man, I had this cold ass rap.
Mhm.
So I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, I had a rap because it was this beat that came on. And I was like,
And you lost it.
I had a cold ass rap to this beat, but I had lost it. I had lost my book. So I couldn't find what it was. And I wasn't very organized. So it could have been anywhere. Could have been on the
Right.
back of some shit written, right? I don't fucking know, man. So I sat there and I thought about it for about 30 minutes and I didn't move. And I started to reimagine
The
the
rhyme.
right because
Oh, yo.
I was drawing a complete blank, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I sat down, I just closed my eyes, and I just started to reimagine it from the first word to the end. And after about 30 minutes, I was able to conjure the entire rap back, and I sat
Dope.
and I said, okay, I just did some shit, man. So so at that moment, I reverse engineered and I said, let me go
Mhm.
backwards. And so what I realized is that so when we write, it's called scribing.
Mhm.
But if something occurred and you was giving me the story, right? I would say,
Right.
yo, describe it.
Ooh. See?
So you
That's crazy.
you
That's
you know
crazy right
you
there.
know where we going.
I'm with you. I'm with you, brother. Keep going. Keep going. Talk to me.
So D means to take away.
Take
So
away, right.
to describe is just you.
Oh
Come
man.
on, brother. This
Come
what I
on, man.
do. This what I'm trying to tell.
Yo,
I'm
you
trying to
going there
tell you.
right now. Yo, this is crazy. Yo,
All right.
that's dope.
So to
Right.
describe,
Right.
you're taking away something that was written in history. And
Hmm.
so you're breaking down what was written in history when you describe something.
Right.
You're describing it.
That's crazy. That's
Okay.
crazy.
All right. So
Mhm.
when you write something down, you scribe it.
Right.
Something happens, it's written. It's written into
Right.
reality, into this program we live in, right?
Right. Right.
Break it down, you describe it. Now watch this. To come together, right, is
Mhm.
to remember. So think about this.
Yo.
Think about this. You ready?
Yo. Remember and yo, that's
Remember,
crazy.
right?
Yo.
So what are you doing? So if you say, yo, Los, do you remember that rhyme? So that means I had to
Put it back together.
put it back together. So in order to put something back together, if you ask me, damn man, did, did you forget it? Then in order for me to forget something, right? Because
Mhm.
forget is before you got it, right?
Right.
So in order for me to forget, which means to get rid of, in order for me to
You
remember, I had to already have it.
already have it. Yeah. That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is
That's
how I
crazy.
broke down. So I said, I sat, now watch this. I sat there because I forgot it. If I forgot it, that means I got it already. I forgot it.
You can't forget something that you already. Yo, that's
If you
crazy.
forgot something, that means for means beyond. I
Right.
have it for, right?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like the
You
forefront,
already had
right?
it.
So
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
forgot it, right? I possessed it already. That's the only way I
Right.
can forget it. It's to
Yeah.
already
You already
possess it.
had. You had to have it already.
To
That's
remember it
crazy.
means that I already broke it apart. To break
Now
it
you got
apart
to put it
means
back.
to describe it. So,
Damn.
first engineer, you forgot what you remember because you described it. You described it,
Oh,
right?
damn.
So when I sat there, I rescribed it. I
Uh,
resubscribed, right? So
that's
my
crazy.
subconscious to rescribe it. I resubscribed to what I already did, right? To watch this.
Right. Right.
I
Right.
I resubscribed
Right.
to the prescription.
Yo. Yo. Bruh. You doing a lot right there, bruh.
Oh, they
That's
gonna eat this.
crazy.
They gonna eat this up
That's crazy.
because
But
I
see,
ain't
this is
never
what I'm
give
talking
nobody
about.
all this.
Perspective, brother. Perspective. See how
That's
you
what I'm
just did
telling you.
that?
That's what
I'm
I'm
trying to
telling
tell
you.
you, man.
And I
My
did this
dude.
early. So when I realized that when we write, so I said it's only right that I only write what's only right.
Right, right,
Time I left behind my back, fight you with only rights.
right. Yeah.
You still get left behind my back because I don't just write my flows ambidextrous. You see how you get left,
Yeah.
right?
Right? Yeah.
We'll
That's
take a
one of my favorites,
southpaw.
dog.
He
That's one of
right
my
with his
favorites.
left, right? We'll right or
Right.
left. We all read from the left, right. So I just laugh when MCs say let's right. They say I say I'd rather left. They say is that right? So here's how we go left
Mm.
field. We go left field because we already know it.
Right.
How do we know it? Because the mechanics of writing is actually scribing. We're scribing. When we explain or verbalize or vocalize what we scribe, that's a spell. Why? Because you cast spells with words,
Well,
but you write words with letters. So
facts.
when we write the letters, we're scribing. When we speak it, we're vocalizing what we spelled. That's why
Mm.
we go to a class called spelling, and we don't realize that is just a conjuring of
Right.
what we scribe, right?
That's real. That's real right there
It's
too.
a
That's
script,
real.
right? And so
Right.
I was able to just go into my mind and basically cast back to the spell of
Those
what
right.
it is I previously scribed. I was able to remember and put all the members of it back
Back
together,
together. Right.
back together
That's
because it's
crazy.
what I forgot. It's what I already possessed.
Ready.
So what I realized is you can't forget nothing that you ain't already know. So
That's real.
if I wrote a rap and I didn't know it, there's no way possible I can't know something that I wrote completely, because that means you're saying I forgot it. If I forgot it, I already had it.
You had to have it first.
So
That's
I
facts.
realized that anytime I write something, I already know it. I just had to put that and plant that in my mind. So anytime I write, the moment I'm done writing, I could recall it because I could remember it.
That's
See what I'm
dope.
saying? In my
Right.
mind. So that's how I got to the point where I didn't have to write no more, because then I just
Right.
engineered from there. And I said, well, shit. Then I went to the thought process of it. You think it, you still write it, and you still know it. And so I just got to that point because it was something I was testing. And I do that in a magnificent way, but I will say this. I revert back to writing because spelling. So that's why you should go back to pen and paper, because that's spelling, and spelling holds a frequency, and it's deep. It's not like, it's your spelling. So with just doing it in your mind, you're not really spelling. You conjure,
Gotcha. I feel what you're saying.
you
I
create,
feel
you
what you're
being a
saying.
creator, but when you put it on the paper, that's the affirm. So that's the affirmation. So you affirm what you did, right?
Right.
You created
That's
in your
crazy.
mind, you put it on the
Right.
paper to affirm, and then when you do that, you're scribing it. So now it becomes that. And so that's why I went back to writing, but I had that whole maybe 10, 13 years when I go, and
That's
sometimes I
crazy.
go in and I don't write nothing, just because if I'm in there in the moment and we getting it popping and we moving and grooving and you throw on the
Right.
beat. I mean, of course I could freestyle. I'm one of the greatest freestylers, so I could do that.
Yeah.
But
Hell yeah.
I can give it to you however you want, but just to have full autonomy over my artist, over my
Right.
artistry, that's how I learned how to use my mind. And once I learned how to use my mind in that way, it wasn't just about music. It was just about the mechanics of the human mind. Just me
Right. Right.
understanding
Yeah. That's
that.
because that what you just really broke down right there is that's a class within itself, brother. Like just to train yourself on how strong your mind can be if you really want it to be. You know what I mean? Your thought process, your memory, all of those things, man, the power is there if you just utilize that. You know what I mean? You just got to work at it. You know what I mean? It's like an exercise. The mind is a muscle like anything else. The more you use it
Hey,
in the right way.
man, listen. So I was having a conversation with these people in my clubhouse, right? My clubhouse room.
Mm-hmm.
Talking about, what we call aliens and all this different
Mm-hmm.
stuff, right? And I'm gonna show you
Mm-hmm.
another way how with words, like how I'm able to master the element of words, right? So we was talking about extraterrestrials, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I said, man, I came up with something. I said, so what you come up with? I said, extraterrestrials. So extra just means more.
Right.
Okay. Terra means land, right? Terrain,
Mm-hmm.
terra,
Mm-hmm. Right.
terra dome, right?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
terra essentially means the land under the dome. That's all that really is. So firmament, dome, terra, right? If you have a terra,
I got you. I'm with you.
yeah, but right, you have that, right? A
Mm-hmm.
planetarium, right? It's a terra,
Right.
right? So you
Right.
got extra, terra, and then you got astral or estrial, right?
Right.
Astral, to astral project, the astral plane, to go what? To go beyond the barrier. What's the barrier? The dome, right?
Right.
So
Mm-hmm.
the first time you became a extra terra astral was your birth into this realm. You was in your
Mm.
mother's dome. You was in
Right.
her belly.
I'm
It
with
was a
you.
dome, and then you breached, right? So you went
Right.
from inside the waters, the primordial waters of your mother, and
Right.
you came out into new land, extra terra astral. And then if you look up estral is a hormone or enzyme that's produced only when a woman is pregnant.
Wow.
So extra terra
That's
astral
crazy.
or extra terra astral. And so you see that, and then as above, so below. So if somebody can penetrate that great dome, which is we call the motherland or the mother earth, and then they're extra terrestrial, the same way, being birthed into
Right.
the
Yeah.
ground. So that was another thing that I had just in my
That's
brain.
crazy.
That's the way I dissect, and
That's dope, man. That's crazy. Yo, man. This is we going there on this right here, man. So you was signed to Bad Boy one time, right?
yeah. 06, 07 was,
Okay.
yeah, when I first
How
signed.
was because Puff is I mean they drop classics, man. I mean he's known to put out hits. So you coming from where you came from in the rap circuit you were in, going into Bad Boy, how did that affect your writing, or did it help progress it, or in any way as far as song structure and things of that nature, or did
Yeah,
it do anything?
yeah. So when I was first in Bad Boy, I didn't have a whole lot of interaction with Puff.
Hmm.
At first, I would just get like the nods of approval, and he definitely was just kind
Oh,
of
he
giving
just let you
me,
do you.
yeah, he was giving me free reign to do whatever I want.
Oh, that's dope. That's dope.
So I had the B studio where Biggie used to record, and then he had the A studio, and then he had that MIDI room where the Hitmen used to be at. And so
Okay, gotcha.
so I met all these people on my journey out there in Manhattan at Daddy's house and Daddy's house studio. So in the MIDI room, I end up bumping into D Dot, Derek Angeletti, aka
Mm-hmm.
Mad Rapper, right?
Right, right,
So when I bumped into him, I was playing him some of my records, and he was like, "Man, why you putting so many vocals? Why you putting so many vocal stacks on that, man? Like, you gotta fall in love with your voice, man. You gotta take all them vocal stacks, you compressing
right,
and putting all this vocal. You gotta have one vocal, man. Your lead vocal is one vocal, man. So don't stack them vocals up no more, right?" And I'm
right,
like, really, because that's all I had ever done. I put 3 layers sometimes on
right.
the
Yeah,
lead,
yeah.
right? And
I
he like,
got you.
yeah, man, don't do that, man. That's compressing your vocal. You want your vocals to
Gotta
breathe.
let it breathe.
I had
Right.
never heard these terms, right? And
Yeah,
so
you gotta let it breathe.
it's like, yeah, you mean you gotta fall in love with your vocals, right? Um,
Mhm.
and I'm like, okay. And so that was a thing. And that was like one of the first lessons I got on like how to record. Now, mind you, I'm recording back then in 2006. I'm
Mm.
recording Sony C800. So that back then is a $15,000 mic, you know,
Yeah.
10 grand now, 7 grand used, right? And so
Right. Yeah.
it was back 25 years ago, 20 years ago. And so um I'm recording on that mic. So that mic picks up everything. I was so
Right.
used to being in the hood recording in closets and everywhere else and whatever,
Yeah. Yeah.
little
Already
makeshift shit that you would have to put so
stack.
many
Yeah.
stacks to try to get the
To get a
impact.
clean
Mic
broad.
or that
Yeah.
vocal chain wasn't clean like that. And
Right.
so when I got on that mic, you could smack your lips
Mhm.
and if it had the delay on it with the quarter note delay, you would hear,
Yes, sir.
right? And
Yeah.
so that mic
Yeah.
was so crispy. And so I heard my voice for the first time through those headphones,
Gotcha.
that multi-million-dollar facility. I hear my own, oh, okay. I'm hearing my texture. And so
So you had to
that,
learn how to adjust your voice at this point.
that was the first time. And remember,
Right.
in that studio back then, they had tape. If you wanted
Oh
to
yeah.
record
Yeah. Yeah.
vocal onto
Yeah.
tape, they could do it on tape too. But yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah. And so I learned that from D Dot, one of the greatest producers of all time.
Yeah. Definitely.
And
Salute to D Dot, man. Definitely.
and
Definitely, man.
all the stuff he said he showed Big and different artists, he was showing me, and I was forever, um, just in, you know, just an appreciation of
Yeah.
having a
I
moment
feel
like
you.
that with a guy, you know,
Yeah,
that
who work with the
work with
greats.
work with that many people. And so from stuff like that, you know, I just
So they
that
ain't never
was one of my first lessons because nobody ever really gave me rap.
right.
I made it to Puff off of just raw spitting.
Bitten, right. That's why I was
I
asking.
wasn't even a
Yeah.
song maker. I just could rap and I could rap so much better than everybody else. Niggas was like, no, we just need this nigga. I don't know what the fuck he gonna
Right.
do.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Put him in the studio. Let's see what he can make. And so, yeah,
Yeah, that's
nobody
why
gave
I
me that was
asked
my first
because yeah,
song.
you was just raw spitter, and I know Puff is more known for making songs and radio records. That's why I asked. So you didn't feel no pressure from them to try to fit into whatever mainstream was doing and or be a part of that.
I didn't feel no mainstream pressure, but I tell you what,
Hmm.
every time I got in that motherfucking booth, I felt that pressure of Biggie. Every
Right,
time
right, right.
I
I
couldn't
can
do it.
imagine.
It's like that nigga was over that motherfucker sitting on the speaker, like
Don't fuck
nigga,
this up.
hey nigga, you yeah, you know what I do.
Yeah,
Don't play with it.
exactly.
And so I used to have that pressure of Biggie, man. And Biggie is still something I'm dissecting to this day because
Right.
Biggie wasn't in my original DNA.
Hmm.
I didn't get to master him when I was in that element. So I picked up
Right.
Biggie late, and Puff showed me a lot of Biggie. Like Puff opened us, like he's like, man, Puff was like, I would play him shit sometime, and he would be like, man, you you ain't study big. You ain't and I
Right.
really didn't like that. Um, and he would play me Biggie, and
Yeah. Yeah.
it'd be like,
Big was
what
different,
the
man.
fuck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
He was
nigga,
different. He
just
was
no
different.
nigga. There was no nigga ever like this nigga, bro. And
None. None, bro.
wow, man, like
Yeah.
what the fuck, you know, like and the
And
way he
it's
approached
crazy because
shit
even to this day, his lyrics still stand up. But what I try to get these youngsters to see, like y'all listen to it now, and it's still amazing. Now imagine what it felt like when it first dropped, and nobody was close to what he was doing. It was like seeing somebody invent the wheel. It's like, yo, this dude was different, man.
made
He
everybody
was
pale in
amazing, bro.
comparison. He made everybody pale in comparison. I will say,
Exactly.
in all honesty, Tupac was the only dude who had like that polarity to Big, where
Yeah.
everything from his bravado to his
Yeah.
personality, because these guys were so much bigger than music.
Yeah.
When you
It
think
was
about
different.
Biggie, you don't even immediately firstly think about the music. Of course,
Right.
that aspect is coming, but when you think Biggie, the first thing you see is his image.
Right. Yeah.
Think
Yeah.
Biggie, you get this dark charcoal texture image in your mind,
Right.
and it's a fly ass nigga, and you like
Right.
Biggie.
Yeah.
His aura has weight. It's
Yeah.
heavy, like
Facts.
so Biggie, like damn nigga, Biggie. It's like almost like a fucking like a noun or like a verb, like Biggie, like that shit is hit different. And Tupac has that
Mhm.
same shit. When you think of Tupac, you see the silhouette of that head, and you see that thing. So those
Yeah.
two are the sun and moon of the hip hop solar system.
Agree.
Everything is
Agree.
governed around those two celestial beings, you know.
Agree.
And
Agree,
so
brother.
yeah, I had that pressure of that Biggie. I wasn't even on Pac yet. So
Oh,
I,
stop, man. Come on, man. Come
I
on,
wasn't
man.
on Pac.
You killing me
Remember, I
now,
got
bro.
Nas. Remember, I got
I
it
feel you.
written.
I feel
So
you, brother.
it was
But
it.
damn.
Do you
Come on,
understand that
brother.
it was
I
written
feel you.
Nas was Tupac? Do
I
you
feel
understand
you.
that
I
Nas,
feel
like
you.
I gave you power wasn't nothing but me and my girlfriend,
Me and my girlfriend. Yeah. Yeah. That's right.
but
Yeah.
alien style, right? And so
Right.
when I got that Nas, I didn't know nothing about Pop because you gotta understand, niggas who was playing Pop was into some gangster shit in the
Right.
streets.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
wasn't no gangster. I was
I
a
get it.
smart
Yeah.
kid in school.
Right.
So I picked up
So
on the guys,
Nas, yeah, because Nas was more
and
intellectual
Nas
then. I
was
get what
more
you
on
mean.
the intellectual. He was fly. And so
Right.
I didn't even get Illmatic, bro. I picked up late. I didn't. Oh, so mind you, let me give you context. I
Right.
didn't start rapping until I was 16.
God damn, really?
Yeah,
I
my
didn't
bad.
know that, bro.
Because you might
Damn.
have, yeah, I didn't start rapping until I was 16.
Get the fuck out of here. I thought you were one of those kids who probably started when you were 8 or 9.
No,
You know
I
what
didn't
I'm
start
saying?
rapping until my dad got murdered.
Wow.
Yeah,
Really?
that's it. Yeah, really.
Damn, bro. So
Yeah.
so
So
you say
all
your
this was
dad, your
fast. I'm telling
pops
you that
got
all
murdered
this was
and that's
fast.
oh, so
Bro, I was
damn.
good. I was good immediately.
I can believe that. I
I could
believe
tell you
that,
my
bro.
first, I could tell you my first
I
rap.
believe it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I had to cop a little pension just to stop the tension. The block was a bitch and my Glock was in the cock position. Face to face, looking the optics of my opposition, not to mention knowing any moment that the plot could thicken. Due to my optimism of being with lots of wit and that wine in my proposition to be in the tropics with them. Calculate the rate of how fat my pockets getting. I could buy your life twice, leave out the pot to pissing. Like, yeah,
Woo! Yo,
like,
hold on. And what year was this? And this is 16?
my father murdered when I was 16 years old. So I gotta go back. Hold on. I'm gonna get you the answer right now. I'm gonna get you the answer right. I'll tell you what year. It's like 96 or something. Hold on, let me see.
Damn, bro. Yo, that's crazy.
Cause I ain't start, cause I graduated high school in
But I
99.
definitely hear that pun on that one. I
Yeah, so
definitely hear the pun on that.
if I'm 44 years old and I start rapping when I was 16 years old, what year was that? 97.
Damn. Yo, that's dope.
So I had
Yeah, that's
just
crazy.
mixed Illmatic.
And that's your first rhyme? Damn,
Yeah,
nigga, I'm
yeah, it's my
embarrassed.
first. That's my first.
Yo, that's
That's my first
crazy,
shit
yo.
because the reason why that was my first shit is because when I was listening to all them niggas, I said, well, this obviously is the criteria for rap,
Right. This is the bar.
multi-syllabic, and because these niggas was too good, right?
Yeah, right.
And so you had niggas like Cool G Rap and all them niggas, and
Yeah,
so
that was my
like,
guy, man.
why would
Yeah.
I write something beneath them niggas? So
Right.
I never understood the
I get
concept
it.
of
I get what you're
basic.
saying.
Yeah, I
I
never
get what you're
understood
saying.
the
I get what you're
concept
saying.
of anything basic, and so I was always quite elaborate in my approach, to
Right.
in my
I
approach
get
to
it.
writing. And so yeah, I started out like that. Every
That's
rap
crazy.
used to be, it's so weird. Every rap used to be the same word sounds from beginning to end. When I first started, my first raps was so
Oh, wow.
mechanical. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy. That's
It
crazy.
was so mechanical, bro. But like I was doing shit that was crazy. Like I was blowing my own mind.
But I could tell you were a cat, like you said, you were a smart kid. You know what I mean? I could tell just by your wordplay and the thing and the words you use and how you break shit down. You read a lot, you studied a lot, and you studied. I can see that you actually studied the big L's. You studied pun. You studied Nas. It's not that you just sat there and listened. I'm sure you were like, how did he do this? And wow, what is that? You know what I'm saying? You
Rap was
really
the
took the
first time
time.
I ever applied myself. You
Mm,
because I bullshitted and did whatever I wanted
hmm.
until it came to rap. Because when you just so advanced,
Right,
you play with your food before you eat it, right? Like so to
right.
speak. And so I used to play with school. My favorite subject was science and literature.
Hmm.
Go figure.
Got you, got
And
you,
I used
got
to
you.
play with that shit. I knew the whole periodic table of elements by heart. And like I was into Emily Dickinson, Robert Frost, Edgar Allan Poe, Shakespeare.
Got you.
But I did whatever I want. I just played with that shit. I did enough to get a B or sometimes
Right.
I did whatever I want. I never
I
applied
know what
myself.
I'm saying.
I'm like, this shit is nothing. Like I'm gonna
Right.
finish my work and I'm gonna clown the rest of the shit. I'm gonna start writing some raps for when I get to lunch so we can get this shit going. And so
Got you.
I didn't apply myself until it was really time to get into rap. That's when I really started like expanding my fucking shit. I dove into that shit wholeheartedly. So that's
When
where
you
I
saw
feel
like,
like
yo, this is big. I can be something. You know what I mean? When did it click to you? Like, I could really do this, like on a
Uh,
professional level. Like,
people told me
yo,
I didn't know what it was. I got into music. Well, it wasn't even music. Was writing. I got into
mhm,
writing and rapping purely for the art form, right? And
right,
it was a way for me to vent through the loss of my father. And so I I ain't had no idea about doing what. I
mhm.
didn't think about like I wasn't even rapping to get out the hood. I was literally
Doing it for the love.
it was pure love.
But that's the best. That's the best. And I can
Yeah,
feel that in your music, my dude. And to
yeah.
me, we don't have enough artists that do it for that reason anymore. Everybody's doing it as a
But you got to
means
go
to,
through some tragedy. You got to go through some tragedy a lot of times to get to that level where you find something so pure because you in your most vulnerable place. And so
exactly.
I didn't. If we could go back, I wouldn't choose this. I would choose
Mhm.
my dad. So
Right, facts.
we don't get this, and we don't get people to take their trauma and transform it or transfer it into something too, because it's just the conditions and how the environments and then you gotta live, nigga. You gotta not die, right? And so
That's right.
it's and then you gotta keep a sane mind, and it's a lot to this shit. But man, I was able to make good and great use of it, and I'm
Hmm.
still growing, and I'm still evolving, and I'm still learning, and it's still for me, it's still pure motherfucking love, you know.
That's what we want, brother. And that's what we
It's
want.
still pure love. But now I just want some money. um, it's
Hey, listen.
because
Hey,
I've been
listen.
humble, I've been modest,
Hey,
and
facts.
I ain't even go attack no rap niggas. You know how easy I could just attack one of these niggas?
I already know. I was about to say you ain't never
Like,
had no brush ups. Nobody wanted to step to you. Like, yeah, I already know, bro. I
and
already
send
know,
them this
man.
video. The
Yeah,
fuck?
that's what's
Hell
up.
no, nigga. Listen,
That's what's up.
I could jump on one of these niggas, they be wounded than a motherfucker.
Already.
Any
Yeah,
nigga,
no. That's right.
any nigga on
And
earth.
see that right there, that's the energy I love. I love an MC that feel, yo, and that's the way you, bruh. That's how you
I
supposed to
will
feel.
hurt one of these niggas bad with this shit.
I already
And,
know.
and, and the crazy thing is that I would never just attack nobody, but I make
Right.
sure that it's known every time I open my big ass Aries mouth
Oh, everybody
that,
know.
that
Yo, my nigga,
I let it
trust
be
me,
known
man.
every time that I'm welcoming all the smoke.
Anybody who ever heard you speak, they know. Trust me. Like, yo, they don't want that problem, brother. Yo, listen, man. I heard you, man. I was like, yo, this nigga here is crazy. But nah, man. Listen, brother, I want to thank you for your time. I gotta have you back on again. This was dope, bro. Great interview, my nigga.
Yo,
Hmm.
yo, what up? It's your man, the king, the alien child, King Los, man. And it's all about bars, man. You watching All About Bars. Why would it be about anything else than some bars? Shout out to Big Sty, man. We had an amazing interview, all about bars. Y'all stay tuned for part 2.
Yes, sir. It's
That's the
definitely
plug
coming,
for part. That's the
man.
clip for part 2 right there.
Mine too.
Hey, listen,
Man,
we're gonna
listen.
get into some real alien shit. We're gonna get into some shit.
Yeah, next one we
We're gonna get
definitely,
into
cause
some
yo,
shit.
we right here, bro. Cause yo, we definitely gonna get into something, man. I appreciate you again, Loach, man. You enjoy the rest of your day, brother. And I'm gonna hit you up when we start there. We probably won't be airing. I'm gonna get about 6, 7 more episodes before we start airing, and I'm gonna hit you up and let you know when. But I gotta get you out the VA, man, so you can, yo, we gonna do an event or something, man. I gotta get you out here, man. We gonna chop it up
When
on that.
I come on that side, and because I'm ready to be more when I
I
slide.
already know
So,
DMV, man. Holler at me, man.
yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
get
send you
some.
my info on the
Yeah, yeah,
DM.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Send me info and let's get some stuff going. It ain't about nothing. Let's get it because
My nigga.
I'm about to I got about to drop this project too. So let's get into it.
My nigga.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, dog.
All
Much
right, man.
love.
Love, appreciate you, man. All right,
Yes, sir. Later.
It's all about bars, 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 bars. It's all about bars.